Over the past couple of years, Battle Royale video games have swept across the world and have become the king of not just the FPS genre, but the gaming market at large. The game that propelled the Battle Royale genre to new heights, capturing not just the hearts and imagination of children, but adults, athletes, and celebrities across the globe, was Fortnite Battle Royale. A child-friendly game that incorporated an innovative new microtransaction system, incredible building mechanics, and weekly updates that keep it fresh and alive, Fortnite seemed like an unstoppable juggernaut of a game that would never be topped. Then, Call of Duty came along and announced that they would be releasing a brand new Battle Royale game of their own. Drawing on 10 years of Treyarch history, Blackout is going to be a mode that combines multiple games worth of characters and locations to form the biggest map in Call of Duty's history, allowing more players than ever before to battle it out and become the last one standing. Many people were cautious when Blackout was revealed, thinking it was going to be nothing more than a rushed cash grab to jump onto the Battle Royale trend. But then, it went into beta, and people realized that Blackout was a serious passion project from the Call of Duty developers that many believe are the best. In today's ArcadeCloud video, we're going to be taking a look at the best and the worst of both Call of Duty's new Blackout mode and the world-dominating Fortnite Battle Royale. We're going to try to be as unbiased as possible so that you guys can decide exactly what one you think is the best. If you enjoyed today's video, then don't forget to drop a like and to subscribe to ArcadeCloud for even more awesome gaming content. Okay, before we really get into the meat of these two awesome Battle Royale titles, I think we have to address the major elephant in the room. If you want to play Call of Duty's new Blackout Battle Royale, then you have to buy Call of Duty Black Ops 4. The standard edition of the game costs a full $60, which is a pretty big amount of cash to drop on a game if you're only in it for the Battle Royale. On the other hand, Fortnite is completely free to play, with the only cost coming from cosmetics that aren't meant to give you any advantages in the game itself. This works against Blackout from the very start. Locking the Battle Royale game behind a paywall is sure to bring in fewer players than Fortnite's free-to-play model. But just because Blackout is locked behind a paywall, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a terrible game. Blackout benefits incredibly from utilizing the core mechanics of the Call of Duty franchise. Ever since Call of Duty revolutionized the FPS genre with Modern Warfare, it has been hailed for its weapon mechanics and how the movement feels, and Blackout capitalizes on that heritage with ease. Firing a gun in Blackout feels smooth and accurate, even if it did take Call of Duty players a couple of games to get used to the bullet travel time and bullet drop mechanics. Movement is fluid and fast, with characters quickly mantling through windows and scrambling over walls in the blink of an eye. And as usual with Treyarch's more recent design philosophy, your gun is always up, meaning you're never caught completely vulnerable. Fortnite Battle Royale doesn't have Call of Duty's movement or shooting mechanics. In fact, for most people, the gunplay in Fortnite is pretty subpar. While sniper rifles feature bullet drop and travel time, pretty much every other gun in the game features hit scan detection instead of projectile ballistics. Much like in Call of Duty's more traditional multiplayer modes, if you shoot a bullet at an enemy, it will hit them no matter what distance away they are. To mitigate the seemingly overpowered method of shooting weapons, Fortnite has added what might be one of the most annoying features of any Battle Royale game. You can't aim down sights at all. All of your combat is done through RNG hipfire bloom, and while you can tighten the spread by using your usual aim down sights button, it's still annoying to get into a fight and lose it because of bad bloom RNG. Fortnite has tried to combat this by allowing your players to get pinpoint accurate shots off by letting the bloom close in completely on your first shot, but bloom still manages to get in the way rather often. One thing that you can do in Fortnite that you certainly can't do in Blackout is build. Building is probably the biggest gimmick and selling point of Fortnite Battle Royale. By harvesting materials around the Fortnite map, players can rapidly create their own structures, which can be used as defensive cover, offensive cover, or even just to traverse the map. Building has become one of the main things to get good at in Fortnite. Most fights now end up in massive building battles, with players trying to outbuild one another to finally get the kill. Because of these mechanics, there is no doubt that Fortnite has the higher skill ceiling of the two games. Mastering building is a process that many of the pros at the top of the game are still doing, and new strategies and methods are being found all the time. It makes it so no two games are ever the same. On the other hand, simplicity is sometimes better than complexity. People have never really played Call of Duty because it's the most complex game with the deepest mechanics and interactions. They play it because they want a super simple game that is satisfying and easy to pick up and play. And that feeling definitely transfers over to Blackout. While it is slightly more complicated because of the newly added bullet travel time mechanics, it's still simply satisfying. In some ways, Blackout feels like a giant game of free-for-all, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing. Vehicles are a key part of Blackout. There are 4 that you can use: the ATV, the cargo truck, the speedboat, and the chopper. The ATV works just as you would expect. It's a speedy two-man vehicle that allows you to traverse the map at incredibly quick speeds. The cargo truck and boat are both incredibly different to any vehicles I have ever seen in any other Battle Royale game. When you jump onto them, you sort of become locked to the vehicle. As it moves, you move with it. But you can also move around the truck and on the speedboat. You can even lie down on the bed of the cargo truck. Mechanics like this are unique to Blackout, and they go a long way in improving the immersion of the mode. The most unique vehicle is, of course, the chopper. Blackout features the very first aerial player-controlled vehicle in a Battle Royale game, and it completely changes the game. Able to carry 4 players to any vantage point on the map, though admittedly easy to destroy, playing with a chopper is a truly freeing feeling that you might never find in any other Battle Royale. Fortnite has vehicles too, but they aren't nearly as interesting as Blackout's offerings. And really, they serve more as jokes than actual transport. This is especially true of the shopping cart, which is less proper vehicle and more skateboard. You push it along for additional speed and then hop on it as you go down hills to build up more pace. The ATK is the only other vehicle in the game. This one is a bit more useful as genuine transport, but because the map is relatively small, it's obvious that Epic have tried to keep the speeds of the vehicle down so people walking around aren't completely outclassed. There is the question, however, of whether Fortnite really needs vehicles anyway. With rifts that are scattered around the map allowing players to teleport around, and jump pads that allow players to redeploy their gliders, getting around the Fortnite map is pretty easy. Any vehicles added to the game would probably feel pretty unnecessary. The one place Fortnite truly trumps Blackout is graphics. No matter what system you play Blackout on, it looks pretty dated. Almost as if it came a generation, if not 2 generations, of console ago. The Call of Duty engine was never really designed with such an ambitious game mode in mind. It's old, and it really shows that age in a mode like Blackout. Fortnite, on the other hand, with its cartoony graphics, can be played on literally everything and still look pretty acceptable. The Unity engine is incredibly flexible, and because of that, players on mobile phones can even play with people on PC or the Xbox. It's a level of crossplay that was previously thought impossible, but Fortnite Battle Royale handles it with ease, and looks good while doing it. I'm pretty sure if you tried to run Blackout on a phone, it would literally just melt in your hands, like ugh. One thing Blackout really does well, however, is looking back to its own roots. Blackout was always designed to be a love letter to the rest of the Black Ops franchise. It features maps from almost every single one of Treyarch's previous games, which means long-term fans are always going to find themselves either in or near somewhere familiar. That even extends to zombies maps, which actually feature zombies to fight and zombie weapons to loot. All of those clickbait videos about ray guns and multiplayer are finally true. Fortnite might not be able to compete with long-term familiarity, but it has been around for almost a year, and with that in mind, it's safe to say that some areas have definitely already built up a place in people's hearts. At the end of the day, the battle between Fortnite and Call of Duty Blackout isn't going to be won in a video like this. It's down to you guys, the viewers and players of the game, to do that. Do you like third-person shooters with wacky mechanics that take months, if not years, to master? Then Fortnite is probably for you. Or are you more down for a classic FPS experience that features simple, tried and true mechanics on a map with elements you know and love? Well, then Blackout is where you'll find the fun. Who knows, you might even find space in your life for both. Because, I mean, why not? Leave a comment down below to let us know what you think of Fortnite Battle Royale and Blackout. Which one are you going to be playing on October 12th? And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to ArcadeCloud for even more awesome gaming content.